Start protecting your energy. I mean, start treating it like it's a golden globe, man. Because it is. Your energy is so uniquely yours and it is wholly yours. And it is something that is not meant to be messed around with. It is not something that is meant to be just given away to anybody. When you start paying attention to how you feel, when you start paying attention to your emotional state, your mental state, things around you start changing. Because when you start paying attention to your own energy, when you start giving a fucking damn about how you feel, a lot of the times you're gonna start realizing that the people around you don't give a shit about how they feel. They don't care about their growth. They don't care about their future. And this is no shade to them, but when you start growing and changing, your energy is gonna change. And that also means that the people that you once hung out with, that you once were in resonance with, you start feeling disconnected with. And that's okay. And it's normal. And give yourself grace when you realize that, when you realize you're in a point of your life where you no longer want to be around certain people. And it doesn't make you selfish removing yourself from friendships or relationships that you no longer feel good in. What actually makes you selfish is staying in them because of the way that it looks, because of the fact that you can say you have a best friend or the fact that you can say you have a boyfriend. No, none of that shit matters. What matters is how you feel. Pay attention to how you feel around people. Your body will let you know when you're not in resonance between you and somebody else. Your body will tell you. Now, I'm 19, right? So a lot of the connections that I had were built simply because of the fact that we saw each other every day at school. And when I graduated high school, I realized that the only thing that was keeping us together, the only thing that was keeping the connection alive was because we saw each other every single day. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow at first. But that was the reality of it. And it can hurt sometimes because you have love for these people, right? And it's not like you want to maliciously hurt them. But there comes a point where you need to ask yourself, is me staying in this friendship or relationship benefiting me, or is it at detriment to where I want to go, to who I want to become? And if it is at detriment, you need to let those people go. Let it go. Let those people go, okay? It's hard. I know it can be hard because you love those people, but if they're not seeing your worth, if they're not seeing your growth, don't keep them around. And it's no shade to them because those people will find people that are on the same boat as them, but it's not worth the stressful energy of you staying in a friendship. It's not worth you feeling drained all the time. It's not worth any of that stress, because I promise you, when you start putting yourself first, you're gonna lose people, and that's just the reality of it. But that is protection. I promise you, it's protection. It's not something that is trying to punish you, but it is protection. I am so picky with my energy, and I have a lot of expectations for my friendships and my relationships, and I'm gonna keep them that way because I know what I'm worth. And when you know what you're worth, you know that you can't just give that shit away to anybody. So don't. Get rid of those old people that you connected with in high school, college, whatever. And I'm not saying that you can't keep them around, but I want you to start reevaluating those friendships and connections that you've created, because it's worth the time looking at them, and it's worth the time paying attention to how you feel around them. And I don't want to be somebody that says it's not possible to create those friendships, because it is certainly so possible to be able to find a friendship that lasts a lifetime, but it's rare. It's more rare than I think people realize. So be picky with your energy. You're not selfish for doing it. You're not a bitch for, protecting yourself. You're actually doing a justice to the people that come next into your life. Because when you fill your own cup up, when you give that energy to yourself, not only are you doing it for yourself, but you're actually helping the people around you, because you're giving your all to these people around you. You're not giving yourself, depleted or empty, because you have filled your cup up. So when you do that, you're able to be of service to the people around you as well. You're able to give your energy 100% of the time. But when you spread yourself too thin between all of these different types of energies, you're going to lose yourself in them. You seriously are. So be careful, be careful. And I don't say that as like a warning, but I'm saying that because having a lot of people around you is not an indication of pure connection at all. Because if anything, the more people you have around you, the more energy you're giving out, first of all, but the more stressful it is to try to keep those connections up and going because you have all of these people around you. Sometimes it's just better to have maybe one or two friends. Honestly, I think that. I think it's better to have only a couple of friends than to have like a whole friend group, if I'm going to be honest. Anyways, all I'm saying is that you need to start being picky with your energy and treat it like it's a gem, because it is a gem. And along your journey, you will end up finding people that see your worth, that see what you have to offer, and that fill your cup up as much as you fill their cup up. Okay, so don't be afraid to lose friendships or relationships just because you're afraid of being alone. That's the biggest excuse ever. Who cares if you're alone? Like, being alone is probably the best thing for you. Being alone, you're able to create such a strong bond within yourself. Like, being alone is actually what people need. Being alone allows you to contemplate life. Being alone gives you a fresh perspective, gives you a bigger perspective. So don't be afraid of being alone. If you're delaying ending a friendship or a relationship because of that, and I'm not just saying just because of that, but that's one of the indicators, it's not worth it. Okay, I promise you. I was in that same boat. I was so scared to end friendships, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I kept them around for way longer than I should have because I wanted to be able to call somebody my best friend, but it's not worth it. Because at that point, it becomes a chore. It becomes unnatural for you to be hanging out with that person. It becomes forced. There you go. It becomes forced. So not everybody deserves your beautiful light. Not everybody deserves what you have to offer. And I promise you, the right people will come around. Those same people that are picky with their energy, they will find you too. And they will understand the importance of energy. They will understand the importance of what it's like to pay attention to how you feel. Okay? I love you so much. I love you. And you got this. Whatever changes you have to make in a friendship or a relationship, you got this. And remember, the only person that you should start caring about is yourself. You need to start putting yourself first, because that's the relationship that's going to carry you throughout your whole entire life. Okay? I love you. Mwah.